Radioland. I trust you all got a good night's sleep and are ready for this very special first day of the rest of your life. Am I right? Of course I am. After all, I'm on the radio.
Honey, are you all right?
Go away. You don't understand.
Oh, look at him. Poor guy. He hasn't had a good night's sleep in over a week.
Neither has she. Why are you only worried about him?
Because he's the one who isn't getting any help. That's why.
Shh! Don't get your feathers ruffled. I get your point. Maybe we can help him. George Stewart. You don't suppose he thinks a stork is going to deliver his baby like a sack of mail, do ya?
No, it's not that bad. But I think he could use our assistance.
The usual? Friends, relatives, co-workers, and kind strangers?
Yep. But I think this calls for going even one step further. To make sure we get through to him.
You don't mean...
I'm afraid so. Television.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to say what a privilege it is to be associated with this ball club and with such a great bunch of guys who have supported me all season long. This is for you, fellas.
Honey? What's for breakfast?
We talked to the new world champion father earlier this morning, just hours after he received the award. And guess what he was doing?
Sleeping.
That's right. Making breakfast for the mother-to-be.
I just want to say that you don't become a big league father without first learning to be a good father, beginning during the pregnancy. You have to learn to accept changes in your life, and you have to make an effort. I want to thank my family and friends who have supported me, and all those special people, and my Aunt Zelda, who brought by all those great pies and cakes on those Saturday and Sunday afternoons.
Doctor appointment today. Don't forget. Great.
By the way, George, remember, if Elaine develops a problem with constipation, you can help her by encouraging her to drink more water than usual, and by helping her eat plenty of bran and fiber, like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Eating prunes may be a good idea for preventing constipation. Got it? Got it?
Morning, neighbor. Did you plant the seed? Did you plant the seed? I noticed this tiny little seedling sprouting up here.
Good morning, Harry. I'm afraid I don't know anything about it. It's really more my wife's thing.
I just thought I'd be a little bit helpful, George.
That's very nice of you, Harry. Thanks.
Plants are a lot like people. They take root, they grow inside Mother Earth. How is Elaine?
All right, I guess. If she does resemble any part of Mother Earth, right now it'd be the part we call a volcano.
Morning sickness, huh? Not all pregnant women get morning sickness, and it doesn't always happen in the morning. Give her my love, will you?
Yes, I will. Thanks, Harry.
No problem. By the way, George, remember that if Elaine suffers indigestion or heartburn due to hormone activity, or due to the pressure on the stomach and intestines caused by an enlarged uterus, as you see here, suggest that she eats smaller meals, but more often. She could drink carbonated drinks, and also try to help her to keep away from the spicy and fried foods. Got it? Got it?
Yes, Harry. Thanks. Have a nice day.
All right, that was Born to Be Wild, and it was not performed by the Central City Symphony. I can guarantee you that. But the Symphony is performing tonight at the Civic Center, and you can call our hotline for ticket information. And speaking of wild, don't you get too wild while trying to get to work on time this morning. Traffic is murder out there right now due to road construction, and you may just have to grin and bear it. But now, folks, guess who just walked into the studio? And as soon as he gets a donut and a cup of coffee, he'll be coming at you with the hottest music in 3 counties.
License and registration, please. What's the hurry, bud? You having a baby?
Well, as a matter of fact, officer, in a way I am. I'm also having a very bad day.
I know what you mean. Things were tough when we had our first child. Real tough. I didn't get enough sleep. My wife was cranky. We were always arguing. My social life went down the tubes because she wanted me to be home all the time. All this even before the little guy was born.
Sounds like I'm in for a real treat.
Unit 12, come in.
Unit 12 over.
Triple murder suspect fleeing on foot in your vicinity. Last seen running down 3rd Street.
Hold on a minute. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's different for each couple, but things were pretty bad for us, so before we had our second child, we analyzed the situation and learned from our past mistakes. We made it a point to talk about our feelings. We made compromises. Do you have a stressful job?
Not as stressful as...
Yeah, mine's pretty darn stressful. And because of that, we agreed that when I came home, I had an hour to take care of myself, to unwind, to do whatever I wanted to. And you have to acknowledge your own needs, George. But after that hour, I gave her my full attention. I learned to cook some simple meals that were good for her. We divided up the other household chores. You know, it worked. We grew closer together. We were able to bond together as parents and start working more as a team.
You know, maybe you should,
Oh, yeah. That duty call. Just a minute. By the way, George, remember that if Elaine complains of being tired, here, take a look at this. Which often occurs early in the pregnancy because of the hormone progesterone has sedative powers, and later in the pregnancy because of weight she's carrying. Be sure to give her your support, George. Encourage her to pay attention to the feelings of tiredness. Help her to rest frequently, take short naps, and get plenty of sleep. She probably needs it. Got it?
Yes, sir, I got it.
May I have that back, please? Thank you. Oh, by the way, remember to drive a little more slowly next time. Have a nice day, George. Gotta run.
And then the blinding white light from the hull shone down on me and I blacked out. And when I woke up, I was inside their spaceship. There were 3 or 4 of them standing over me.
What did the aliens look like? You're listening to Stork Radio. We're live on the air with Eric from Peoria, Illinois. Eric, you said that you and your mate are experiencing a great deal of anxiety during the pregnancy. Are there some specific issues that you're worried about?
Are you kidding me? What if my wife gets that cat disease and the baby gets it? What if cigarette smoke or alcohol affects the baby and it's born with a defect? What if my wife has a miscarriage? What if we can't afford to be parents? What if the baby swallows a quarter or something and chokes? What if I'm a lousy father and the kid grows up hating me? What if my wife and I fight over how to raise the kid? What if the kid doesn't do well in school? And what if the depletion of the ozone layer...
Whoa, slow down there, partner.
But I don't know what to do.
You don't have to solve every potential problem known to the human race just because you're going to be a daddy. You have enough time to learn what you need to know. First, do you have a cat?
No.
Well then, unless your mate cleans the neighbor's litter box, you don't have a problem.
Phew, that's a relief.
Do you smoke?
Well, yes.
There's something you can do right there. Cigarette smoke could harm you, your mate, and the baby. Does she smoke?
No.
That's good. What about alcohol or drugs?
No drugs. And she stopped all drinking of alcohol, including beer, when we found out she was pregnant.
That's good. Do you drink?
Yes.
Yes, he's drinking now. Why else would he call into this program?
You can make it a lot easier for your mate to be healthy for the baby if you also stop drinking.
What if my baby swallows something and chokes?
Learn the safety precautions and use them, but don't lose any sleep over it. You have to learn to relax.
Yeah, right. My wife is losing her marbles. Like, it'll probably grow up to hate me, and I'm supposed to relax.
It's normal for a pregnant woman to be emotionally volatile. She's not losing her marbles, as you put it, but she does need your support. And you have many years to establish a good relationship with your child so that he or she won't grow up hating you. There's no point in worrying about it now. Just try to learn as much as you can about being a good father.
What if I lose my job?
If you lose your job, you'll cross that bridge when you come to it. If you worry about it now, it'll just put additional strain on you and your mate. Anything else?
Yeah. How many home runs did the Babe hit in 1927?
60. A record that was held until 19... when Roger Maris broke. And by the way, George, remember that if Elaine has sore breasts due to hormonal activity...
What?
Sore breasts. If she has sore breasts related to her body getting ready for nursing the baby, be very gentle when you have sex. Got it?
Hey, future daddy. You're late.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Norm.
It's okay. Psychologists say that tardiness is a form of rebellion against the expectations of society.
I'm not going to be very good company this morning.
Well, that's okay. Let's put on the radio.
No!
Take it easy there, buddy boy. Not enough sleep again?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Norm. I'm just...
It's all right. After all, you're pregnant too, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a little-known fact that in some cultures where the pregnant woman is restricted from hard labor and the killing of animals and the eating of meat, the expectant father is also restricted. Fathers even go through a birthing ritual where they lie in a hammock and undergo labor pains and stuff, like a mock birth.
I want to be a good father. You know? A real father.
Well, in our own culture, the role of the father is changing. In the past, the father was the provider, the breadwinner. And he took a back seat during both the pregnancy and the birth, and even during the raising of the kid.
Yeah? That's the way my father was.
How do you feel about that?
It was like he was never there for me.
Today, a lot of men feel that way about their fathers. And as a result, they're becoming more involved in the pregnancy, by going to doctor visits with the mother, by participating in the birth as a labor coach, by spending more time feeding and bathing and caring for the baby after the birth. You know, some men are even taking a paternity leave from work so they can spend more time with the baby. It's a pretty good deal, huh?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I want. I want to be an involved father. I just don't know if I have what it takes to do that.
You can just drop me off here. I'll sneak in the back door. And hang in there, Daddy-O. You'll do all right. By the way, George, remember, if Elaine has dizzy spells because her blood is being diverted from her brain to her uterus...
What?
Dizziness. Her blood is going to her uterus and her brain isn't getting enough. To help, have her sit down, put her head between her knees, and have her take deep breaths. You got it?
Let me get this straight. You didn't get any sleep last night. You got milk all over your shirt. You're having hallucinations. You think birds are making the police chase you. You're 30 minutes late for work today, and now the big boss wants to see you right away. Well, that's good news for an upwardly mobile guy like me. Maybe I'll just move into your office right away. You mind if I keep this?
Listen, he probably just wants to know why we went over budget on that last account.
You mean why you went over budget? By the way, there is a medical report circulating over in sales that says the old man's so-called heart is pumping ice water through his veins. Good luck.
Would you get out of my chair? Listen, if you're trying to get me nervous, it's not going to work. I don't get nervous. I think that the reason we were unable to stay within the budget, sir, was not only the change in...
Ice water?
What?
Would you like some ice water?
No, thank you, sir.
George, let me ask you a question.
All right.
What's important to you?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
What is it to be a man? When do you make the passage from boyhood to manhood?
I could start working late every day.
George, did you know that when surveyed, most men report that fatherhood is more important to life's big picture than a career? Did you know that?
I want you to know that just because my wife is having a baby doesn't mean that you can't continue to count on me to work as many hours as...
Just a minute.
George, did you know that I get a lot of satisfaction from running this business?
Yes, sir, I imagine you do.
Speak up, George!
Yes, sir, I imagine you do.
I enjoy my career, but for me, there's nothing more satisfying, nothing closer to my heart than being a father. Look here. Being a father is the greatest experience you can have. For me, becoming a father was the same as becoming a man. It meant I had grown up. I love my children, George. It makes me feel proud. Like my life is worth something. Congratulations. Now you be sure to let me know how things go, and if there's anything I can do to help.
Thank you, sir. I will.
By the way, George, remember that if Elaine gets hemorrhoids...
Hemorrhoids?
Yes. If your wife has hemorrhoids associated with her pregnancy due to the constipation and the resultant straining... Where was I?
Straining, sir.
Oh. Oh, yes. Help her to spend more time lying on her side. Offer her an ice pack to reduce the swelling, or those medicated pads. Help her to cut down on binding foods like bananas, rice, and hard cheeses, and increase stool softening foods like bran, dried fruits and prunes, and lots of water. That should help her feel better. Got it?
Psst. Yes, sir. Psst. Good advice, sir.
Good.
I can't stay, Georgie. I have to get down to the mall. How's Elaine?
How's Elaine? You're my mother, and you sit down there and ask me, how's Elaine?
Well, how is Elaine?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know how she is. I'm worried that there might be something terribly wrong. She's so grouchy.
When I was pregnant with you, I got so depressed at times. Your father thought I was going nuts.
Well, what did he care?
Well, he cared. He cared so much that it bothered him more than it did me.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Anyway, Georgie, I don't want to argue with you about your father. Right now, what you have to try to understand is how Elaine feels.
And how is that?
Well, let me ask you this. What if you knew right now, without a doubt, that in the next few months you'd put on about 30 pounds, your stomach would protrude like you'd swallowed a watermelon, and when it was all over, your body would never be quite the same as it was before?
This is stupid.
Come on, Georgie. Put yourself in that position. How would you feel?
Well, I might worry that Elaine wouldn't want to have sex with me.
But what if it goes deeper than sex?
How could it possibly? Oh, yeah. Well, I might be worried that she would...
Would what?
Stop loving me?
Bingo.
She knows that I love her.
Let me tell you something, Georgie. When you're pregnant and your hormones are going wild and your back hurts and you can't sleep, sometimes you stop knowing for sure what you thought you knew for sure.
What can I do?
She needs your reassurance, Georgie. She needs your love and your support. You have to let her know that it's okay, that you understand, and that you love her just the same. I have to get going now, Georgie. Tell Elaine that I'll stop by tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, Mom.
And by the way, Georgie, remember, if Elaine gets those shooting pains in the pelvic area, here,
Mother?
it's caused by the muscles and ligaments stretching to accommodate the growing baby. And it's up to you to remind her that she can get relief by getting up from chairs slowly and by doing gentle stretching exercises where her rectal and vaginal muscles are squeezed together like this. Got it? Oh. Come on, Georgie. Here, let me show you.
No!
Sir, let me show you to your table now.
No. Why? No. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Let me show you to your table now.
Are you ready to order?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's so much to select from. I'm having a hard time choosing.
That's okay. Take your time.
Childbirth specials?
First, let me tell you about our childbirth specials for first-time fathers. At the special price of half off, you can remain completely uninvolved in pregnancy and childbirth. When your mate goes for her doctor's appointments, you can stay home and watch golf reruns on TV.
Yes! 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 The 6-iron!
While your mate learns about pregnancy and childbirth, you can study how to change the carburetor on a '65 Mustang. And while your wife is giving birth to your child,
It's the boy!
you can be passing out cigars to the boys at the local watering hole. We also have a childbirth special for those health-conscious fathers. It takes a little longer to prepare, but most fathers think it's well worth it.
What are the risks to the baby?
You can get involved in the pregnancy by going to the doctor visits with your mate and asking questions. You can become a labor partner and learn how to help your mate during labor and delivery. And you can be there in the delivery room when the baby is born, helping your partner with her breathing and pushing, and participating firsthand in the miracle of birth.
I see him. I'll take that one.
What one?
May I have some more water, please?
For your male child, we offer both the circumcised and the uncircumcised penis. There may be cultural and religious factors to consider in this decision. Some doctors claim there is a clinical reason to select circumcision. Others say there is no health benefit. Some fathers make the decision and choose to have a son whose penis looks like his father's. Did you decide?
Circumcised?
Excuse me?
Is there a problem here?
Circumcised. What size sorghum do you have? Never mind. I'll have your club sandwich.
By the way, George, remember that if Elaine has swelling due to fluid retention, offer her lots of water to drink and make sure that she doesn't take in too much salt and sugar. And remind her to elevate her feet as much as possible. Got it?
Got it.
Enjoy.
It's so weird.
And now we come to a new segment of the show called Baby-Proofing Your Home. So for all you future fathers out there who are a little worried about safety around the house,
Listen up. Right sidekick Bob.
That's right, Tom. There are many things you can do to make things safer for your baby, especially once the kid starts crawling around.
Yeah. Bob, why don't you show him what kind of trouble he can get into?
Do I have to?
Well, no. Only if you want a paycheck. Yeah. Well, Bob, you know, to protect you against electrical shock, your dad's got to get some of these suckers right here. Yeah. Protective covers for electrical outlets. And they go on just like that, Bob. Eh? Yeah. And be sure to run all electrical cords behind the furniture or under the carpet so the little tyke can't get to it. In fact, tape it down if you have to. And make sure that there's no furniture around that can come tumbling down on the little rugrat, huh? Ooh, Bobby. Ooh, Bobby.
Goo goo, gaga.
Oh, yes. Ooh, you're a little man, aren't you? Isn't he sweet? Oh. Oh. Gee, that's kind of smart. So, either remove this or anchor it down to make it safe. Any sharp or breakable items should be removed. Well, like this glass tabletop with the sharp corners, or these breakable glass items here, or anything that's small enough to fit in the mouth and cause choking should be placed out of reach. I didn't know you were potty trained. Just kidding. You look like you could use a tall, cool one, Bob. I'm sorry about that electric shock thing.
Don't drink it, Bob.
Thanks, Tom.
That reminds me, all you parents at home, you got to be sure to lock up those harmful chemicals. Like kitchen and bathroom cleaners, oil, paint, gasoline, a weed killer, bug spray, and all that stuff that thirsty little one can get at. Also, thank you, you want to make sure that you install those little locks that make cupboards impervious to little fingers. Like that. because there's enough water in a toilet to present a potential hazard to little kids, make sure that you have a lid and that it is always down when the toilet's not in use. Okay, Sidekick Bob. Now, just one more step and you'll get your surprise. Wow! Oh. Well, now, to protect your baby from stairs and also to close off other areas that may present hazards, ta-da! Install removable safety gates, just like this one. Say, Bob, you know you got to watch that first step, buddy. It's a big one. And don't forget, safety precautions outside the house, too. Keep that garage door locked in case there are any dangerous tools or chemicals in there. Make sure swimming pools are covered and that ponds are fenced off to avoid entry by some innocent baby. Speaking of innocent. Oh, Bob! Say, can you come out here and help me with this sliding glass door, buddy? I think you're a lot stronger than I am.
Oh, my nose! Oh!
Now, be sure to put decals on glass doors so your kids will see the glass. Bob, you're a big disappointment to me. By taking a few simple precautions, you can make your home environment safe for your baby. Well, that's our show. Say goodnight, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
Go ahead, Tom. Say by the way, George.
No! By the way, George, remember, if Elaine gets muscle cramps due to calcium imbalance or poor circulation or other causes, well, just persuade her to take a nice warm bath, but not too hot. Or, if the cramp is a result of pointing her toes, well, just simply pull her foot back toward her, just like that. You got it?
So, what'll it be?
How about a glass of that orange pineapple, please?
Coming up.
Thanks. I'm ready.
What's that?
That's good. I'm ready. Just lay it on me. Thanks. Well, what do you have to tell me about fatherhood?
Depends. What do you need to know?
Well, I'm a little worried about what to do after the baby's born.
Such as?
Well, such as... What do you do when he's crying?
Funny you should ask. When a baby cries, it's usually hunger, gas pains, or her diaper just needs to be changed. You know, some people worry about spoiling the baby by picking her up right away when she starts crying, but babies need to be held a lot, especially newborns. What do you think it is, honey?
She's probably hungry.
Yeah, with some babies you can tell what they need to stop crying, but with others you just can't. Let's see if she is hungry. You know, there are pros and cons to both breastfeeding and bottle feeding. One advantage of bottle feeding for me is that I get to be involved in the feeding. And that's important when you're establishing a bond with your baby. When my wife was breastfeeding, I made sure I picked up the baby, carried her over to her mom, so that way I was still involved. Now, any temperature should do, although you don't want it hot. You don't want to burn the poor kid. Some babies even like it cold, but I think most parents prefer to serve it up warm.
About the same temperature as breast milk.
He's so smart, isn't he?
Well, do I get to do it?
I never get to feed her anymore.
There you go. Come on, sweetheart. Yes. There you go. You know, it's easy to feel a lot of jealousy after the baby's born. Before the birth, it was just the two of us, and we were very close.
I couldn't have done it without him.
We had the baby right here behind the bar.
You're kidding.
He's kidding.
Yeah, it was a little tough sharing my wife with the baby. I'll admit I felt a little left out. But with my parents and my in-laws and all of our friends, especially the women, all elbowing me out of the way so that they could get to the baby.
We talked, and things have worked out.
I have my wife, and I have my baby. Here, you hold her.
No, I don't know how.
No, here, come on, I want you to hold her. Here, take her. Come on. Just like that. And make sure you support her head.
Okay. Hey, back off. Can't you see I'm busy here? Would you stop breathing on her?
During feeding is when we get a chance to make eye contact and really get to know each other. Isn't that right, sweetheart? Yes, it is. Here, let me take her back. There you go. Now, because she takes in air during feeding, air that can cause her discomfort, you want to make sure and burp her real gently after feeding, just like this. Now, be careful. She might spit up. Just listen for the burping sound. Now, let me check her diaper.
It's really not that bad.
You get used to it real fast.
Here we go.
Instead of showing you how to change a diaper, I can explain it. It's really pretty easy. You want to check the top of the diaper in front for boys, because they tend to pee up. For girls, check the bottom. You want to use the diapers and tissue to wipe, then use the diaper wipes or wet washcloth to thoroughly clean the area, wiping from front to back. Now, apply ointment if there's redness that may be a sign of diaper rash. We use just a little bit of baby powder to help keep her dry.
My kindergarten baseball team.
You know, this will be a really good opportunity to make eye contact and play with your baby. But remember, she'll be sleeping a lot, so it's during diaper changing, feeding, and bathing that you'll have the best opportunities to get your baby's attention.
Bathing?
She loves getting a bath. In fact, it's our favorite time with her. You just want to make sure that the bath water is warm, not hot. And don't use any soap. Just gently sponge her all over. Oh, and of course, you never leave the baby alone in the bath, not even for one moment. And dry her off right away so that she won't get cold.
Bye, George.
Thanks.
George, as always, good to see you. Take care, okay? Psst. By the way, George, remember that if Elaine starts to become self-conscious about her body when she starts getting really big, and this is true even if she is into sex more than you have ever seen her into it in your life, which isn't the case with all pregnant women, but was definitely the case with my wife, let me warn you, whatever you do,
Don't tease her about her belly, or she may never have sex with you again. You got it?
I got it.
You won't believe what just happened. Yeah, I'm coming out of the bar next door, right? And I'm going for a cab, and I realize I need to use the John. And I start to go back inside, and then these two big birds are standing there blocking the doorway. You know, and I try to scare them away, but they don't budge. And so I thought I'd sneak in here instead.
It's all right. I've been having a pretty strange day, too.
Mm-hmm. You know, my wife is pregnant, so I've been spending a lot of time next door before I go home. Now, I know it doesn't sound like a cool thing, but...
No, I understand completely. It's like you're supposed to be all grown up or something. Maybe you don't want all that responsibility.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to be free and have a little more fun before you settle down to being at home with a kid, staying up late at night to take care of them.
Or her.
No.
Yeah, my wife's going to have a little girl in about 6 weeks. I am not ready for this. I mean, my wife is, but not me.
I know what you mean.
I mean, and she's always complaining about how she feels, and I don't know what to say or what to do, and then she gets mad at me because she thinks I don't care, but I really do. I mean, it's a big mess. Like yesterday, I said to her, "Gee, you look sexy." And she bursts out crying. I mean, I tell her she looks sexy, she cries. I mean, go figure.
Let me ask you something. What if you knew right now, without a doubt, that in the next few months, you were going to gain about 30 pounds?
Wow, looks like we killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
I hate that expression.
Why? Oh, right. Anyway, it looks like our work is done.
Do you think George will be okay?
I hope so. We did our best. At least he almost has a smile on his face. Last one home's a rotten egg.
I hate that expression too.
Thanks again for the help. I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident now that I know things are going to be okay.
Yeah, well, me too, I guess. I'm just not sure I have what it takes now.
Oh, hey, I better get home before she starts to worry.
All
Hey,
right.
thanks again.
Hi, George.
Dad, how did you get in here?
I still have that extra key you gave me Thanksgiving. I looked for you inside, but I didn't see you.
Something wrong? Those weird birds must be around here somewhere. What made you take the time to come all the way down here?
I called Elaine today.
Oh, that figures. Why didn't you call me at work?
Take it easy, George. I wanted to talk to her about you. I wanted to see if she thought it was all right for you and I to have a talk.
About what?
There's something I want to say to you, George. Ever since you were born, there's certain things that I've wanted to say to you, but for whatever reason I never did. But this time it's different. I need to say it this time.
Okay.
I don't really know where to begin. When I look at my life, I only have one major regret.
Dad.
Now let me finish. I know I was not a good father. I don't know how it happened exactly. I was struggling to make a living. And there were so many other things that monopolized my attention.
It's okay, Dad.
George, I would give anything if I could go back in time and do things differently. If I could be there when you were born, feed you formula, give you a bath, take you to the park, be rooting for you at ball games. Missing out on all of that, letting it slip away, was the biggest mistake of my life.
How does a person keep from making those mistakes?
If I'd only stopped once in a while. You've got to stop and think. Question what it is that you're doing.
It's not too late. You still have plenty of opportunity to get to know your grandson.
Well, I look forward to that. I really do. I want you to know that I am proud of you. You're going to make a great father, son. And by the way, George, I love you.
Sweetheart, how you feeling? I brought you some of your favorite doctor's appointment.
That was Jackson Brown singing Running on Empty. And if your gas tank is running on empty right now, don't forget to fill up tonight at your local Texon station, where both low prices...
Elaine?
You're just in time, Mr. Stewart. Here's a picture of your son.
How was your day, George?